What's going on, guys? Jordan here on November 17th. Took a little bit of a break this week just to recuperate myself, but back at it, so you can expect a lot more from me coming up. Just want to recap a couple things about myself before I get into really what's gone on the past few days. First, I want to let you guys know about the Ascension webinar I have coming up on Tuesday, November 21st. That's at 4 p.m. Pacific. I'll put a link down below if you want to check it out. Thank you all who signed up on my Patreon. You guys can expect a video coming your way this weekend, and then also I'll be doing a lot more new videos. I was able to get myself some new equipment, a little bit of a new setup, kind of a birthday present to myself. So I'll be expanding the videos I'm doing. I love doing these live videos for you guys, but I want to expand out, want to branch out with what I'm doing. So I got a lot of fun projects I'll be working on for that. Anyway, into some of the stuff I want to throw your guys' way this Friday evening. First of all, I'm going to link down below a video from David Seaman on his channel where he actually interviews David Wilcock. Came out just yesterday. It's called Pizzagate, Donald Trump, and the Fall of the Cabal. And David Wilcock lays out very well how basically the military is what's really helping us purge the deep state or the New World Order from this planet. So big shout out to David Wilcock and David Seaman, both instrumental in my awakening process past few years. So haven't talked to either of them yet, but I'm sure I will be one of these days. Thank you guys. Anyway, so I'll link that down below. Next, let's talk about Roseanne Barr's Twitter. So Roseanne Barr, she actually retweeted something of mine just a few days ago, so that made me real excited. And then today, her Twitter account got shut down. Not only her Twitter account, but her personal website did too. And what she had tweeted today was something actually on the QAnon. So she tweeted a video on the QAnon drops, and then she also tweeted something about Corey Feldman as well, some P-Gate stuff. So no wonder her stuff got probably DDoS'd or hacked or something to that effect. But it's back up now, so no worries there. And now let's discuss Trump's return and that announcement. Because, of course, a lot of us had heard, as per Q, that there was going to be some sort of announcement or something massive that might occur by the time Donald Trump got home from his trip. Then he had announced that he was going to be making basically a surprise speech or a last-minute speech upon his return. We watched that. It was more economic than it was any kind of announcement on indictments or anything like that a lot of us were expecting, or at least hoping for. But understand that we can't expect anything with all of this that's going on, this whole storm, this whole sweep, this whole purge that's happening not only nationwide but planet-wide, because it's so complex, it's so deep. This deep state has interwoven and infiltrated itself to every facet of our society over the past many decades, if not centuries and millennia even. So it's going to take some time. But of course, we were a little disheartened that we didn't get any massive announcements, but we definitely got something. I watched that whole speech, and there was many great things that were said behind what he was actually saying. Double entendres in his speech. He was talking about the fall of ISIS against denuclearization of North Korea, but also economics, free trade. Of course, the globalists or the deep state, they use their different trade agreements to empower the globalists. Very anti-globalist speech Trump laid out. But lots of stuff is going on behind the scenes and aside from what we had expecting. I'll lay some of that out. So we definitely have a lot more pedogate outing. Al Franken, his story's been blowing up. Of course, the corporate media hasn't been touching that. We had George H.W. Bush with an 8th lady say that he groped her. So again, we have more coming our way, more seeding the public consciousness, allowing people to accept that all of their beloved politicians and media figures, and especially Hollywood, you can just type in harassment or sexual assault into Google, and we're seeing, you can find plenty of stories about what's going on in Hollywood with it all. But we're seeing more people outed, right? This storm is continuously rolling along. Zimbabwe, their president was militarily outed, placed under house arrest in a corruption purge there, so that's neat. I saw an article on Zero Hedge today that was discussing the Saudi Arabian probe So that anti-corruption purge that's going on in Saudi Arabia, of course, past couple weeks, it's now up to multiple hundreds of people. This article I saw on Zero Hedge said dozens of military officials are being arrested, which is awesome, right? Can't wait till that happens here. More JFK files were released today. So again, we're having files released almost every week now. There's thousands and thousands more. And this is no coincidence. There are no coincidences. Again, this is because they're getting people to accept these conspiracy theories. And by people, I mean the mass public. It's a hint as well from the alliance to the deep state saying that, don't out Trump like JFK. But one thing I saw mentioned as being possible, I haven't personally scouted these new records that were released, but I saw somebody mentioned word of a third shooter even being mentioned in these JFK files. So, interesting, right? Doesn't surprise me. You get to certain levels and just nothing surprises you anymore. You flow like water, as Bruce Lee would say. This I want to talk about here, because this one I saw today, there was a plane crash in Europe on the Rothschild Manor property. So apparently what had happened was there was a helicopter that took off that had 2 people in it, crashed with a small plane that had 1 person in it on literal Rothschild property. Not on their house or anything like that, but it was on their property, okay? I saw some articles get circulated around the media today, and I will out a name here, primarily by Neon Nettle, and it literally said something to the effect of Jacob Rothschild feared dead after a plane crash or whatnot. But this is not the case, right? There was nothing in any of these media reports about Jacob Rothschild specifically being dead. Now, right, again, there's no coincidence with anything that's gone on. Super synchronicity that this crash would occur on Rothschild property. But I highly, highly doubt, and I don't think it's the case at all, that there was Jacob Rothschild actual involvement in the crash. But again, it's funny that it was on their property, and, I would be interested to see where the Rothschilds are actually at right now. There might be more of a backstory to this, but let's not get clickbaity with our approach of discerning information or emotionally driven and automatically think that it was Jacob Rothschild that died, because this was not the case, and nothing reported so far makes it seem like this was the case. So again, read the facts, not the weird clickbaity stuff. And then a couple cool things that really happened on the world stage today is that Nigel Farage, who is the Brexit architect, the anti-globalist in Britain, was speaking at the European Parliament and was literally outing George Soros by name and slamming his influence in Brussels. And not only this, but the Hungarian Prime Minister says the silent majority will prevail over the globalist elites and the Soros empire. Hungary's Viktor Orban was talking today somewhere, but basically outing George Soros. So that's neat. And then lastly, probably the most important news story of the day is the sky penis. Look at this. It was funny. It actually happened in my state here. I'll show you guys, because this is important. The sky penis. So there was a naval aircraft that drew a penis in the sky over Whidbey Island in Washington here. Breaking news, beware of the penises in the sky, folks. So that's all I got for you on this one. Have a wonderful weekend, you guys, and be looking for more videos of mine coming soon. And definitely one of these sit-down sessions where I can just do some Q&A live with you guys so I can actually answer some of these comments that are just rolling through the screen. But anyway, take care, guys. Have a wonderful weekend.